Hey, hi guys, welcome to Chai and Chat episode number 2. My name is Junaid Solomon.
Hey guys, Salman.
Hey guys, I'm Jamil.
Farouk here.
So this week we've got a really hot topic. We're talking about marriages. So this might take maybe 1 or 2 episodes. So we've got a lot to talk about, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so what's your...
First of all, we want to thank everybody for watching our episode 1 last week.
Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of people, reached out to us with a lot of different topics. Feedbacks.
Some really good feedbacks.
Definitely. And a lot of these topics we definitely want to talk about. And I think one of the hottest topics is marriage.
Yes.
I think in our age group right now, we are seeing that a lot of people are having difficulties either trying to communicate with their parents to get married, either finding a significant other, or where to find the other significant other.
In the right time.
Or right time.
So why don't we tackle what's the right time?
You guys think there's an age that
As an age.
as a Desi, you should be married by this age? Because according to Desi parents, it's probably going to be like 19, 20.
So like females like 21, right? It's like ideal. You gotta get married.
I think it's too young.
That's
man.
way,
That's too young.
that's way young.
No, but that's kind of like where the numbers are, right?
But is that,
It's like when you-
what you think though?
That's what I've seen in the community from like people that I know. Like when you hit that 21, it's like, you should start considering getting married. For guys, when you're like 27, 28, it's like, you have to get married right now.
I know, but I think with marriage, it's all about mental. When are you really prepared? You could be 25 and mentally ready to get married.
With 21, it's I just feel that person is not at that maturity level.
I mean, everybody has their own maturity.
So what do you think about female having a different or earlier time than guys? Like,
females do mature faster than guys, right?
Yes.
So it's fine. I think, listen, age is just a number at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to how mentally are you ready to get married.
Sure.
If you found a significant other, and you actually are prepared to get married.
In terms of financially and career-wise, or what?
I mean, financial and career-wise is always there. I think financially we can always be like, okay, we want more. Yes, I think financially, if you already have a job or you know what you want and what you're doing, I think yes, why not?
So what if you feel insecure because you don't make that 6-figure salary or the $300,000?
Yeah, but
feel comfortable enough financially to say, hey, I want to get married.
Yeah, but everybody's.
How many people you know make that?
Everybody's standard of money is different. We're shooting straight to the 6 figures. That doesn't doesn't fall in everybody's category.
Yeah.
Some people are fine with 60,000, 80,000. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
If you have someone and you're already focused, you have a good career, you have a good job, and both of you have a good understanding and there's good communication, why not? But what I think we need to talk about is, if you have someone, how do you bring it up for your parents?
But just before we go on to that, actually, but looking at the fact that what we're saying here, I want to have my career at this level, or I want to have my income at this level, you can work on that.
When you're married too, yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're married, you're going to stop working in your career or your education or whatever it is. I'm just saying that maybe at certain ages, which I feel is too young to get married because you're not mature enough, but, in terms of those things, you can work on while you're married.
Yeah. So I think a lot of times we, in this phase and finding somebody and trying to get married or even getting married, I don't think we have enough conversation about the financial side and the responsibility side of it before we get married, right? Because it's like we found the right person, we get into this zone of, okay, I'm getting married, this la la land, this is great, we connected, we have similar values, but then once you get married, you look at the financial side, it's like, I don't want to work, you gotta pay all the bills, or that conversation never takes place. So it's most of the time we don't have an understanding of it, and parents, for that matter, I don't think encourages us to have that conversation either.
Communication is very important before the marriage, between the couple, between the families, on what the expectations are. Really, I think that's very important.
But I mean, how do you that all, of course, is very, very important.
Yeah.
But before that, if you're mentally ready and you think you're financially, you know what you're doing, the growth, you're willing to go hands-on and grow whatever you're doing, grow into whatever career you're into, but you want to get married and you have a significant other. How do you start a communication with your parents?
So I think in those type of situations it's very difficult because obviously based on the relationship you have with your parents, right? It can get hard to have that conversation about either you have somebody or even more importantly that you want to get married, right? Because almost parents, they have an understanding of when they think you're ready to get married, right? Maybe their understanding is when you have a good job, I'll start looking for somebody. Like for me, immediately my parents, waited a little bit longer for me to get a stable job. And I understand that because for me to be able to support somebody, again, we go back to the idea and the mental state of how it was.
Some parents, you hit puberty and son, you're ready to get married.
It's true. It's very true. It's very true. So we have mix of both of that, right? So how do you tackle the other side? How do you tackle the parent side when you are in that situation that you have to have that conversation? How do you do that?
I'll tell you what I think, and this is the advice I gave one of my friends, right? You're always closer to one, you're close to both your parents, but there's always one you can probably speak to.
Sure.
So perhaps that's the best way to start. Speak to, if you're close to your mom or your dad, speak to that person there and explain the situation. But there's also got to be kind of, who are you looking to get married? Is she or he going to fit in your family? Because don't forget, Desi marriages are not, you're not marrying each other.
Right.
You're going to marry into the family as well.
Right.
So you marry the family. It's true, right? Whether we accept it or not, the family is a huge part of Desi marriages. So,
so it's like her, him, his family, and her family.
Absolutely.
Four people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's 4 people, bro. It's more than 4 people.
Well, I mean, like in terms of the general terms.
So one approach would be, I advise someone once speak to your mom, or more closer to her, see what she says. If not, get someone to perhaps approach the situation, a sibling, brother, sister.
Siblings is one of the best.
Siblings definitely
Siblings
the
is most
best way to go.
Whichever siblings you have.
Yeah.
If you have
What about somebody who doesn't have siblings?
doesn't have
Cousins, friends.
friends.
So like it's interesting, right? So let's say okay, we'll go through the whole process, and then it's so scary that for us there's such a high divorce rate, right? We live in a country where you go through this process of dealing with the parents, finding the right person, build a marriage with that person, build a family. And then, you see on the news, the stats, it says 60-70% of people that are married getting divorces, right? So
absolutely.
it's like, it's such a scary thought. Even like, I think that's one of the things that scares me personally. It's like, okay, wow, I mean, I'm here and with that kind of statistics, I could be anywhere in that range or
sad,
anything,
and
right?
It's unfortunate that half of marriages in the United States end up so I think 47%.
Is that worldwide? I
No,
think
that's just in the United States. The United States has the 5th largest divorce rate in the world.
Okay.
United Kingdom, I think they're at number 7 or 8.
But can I disagree with you on that just slightly, right?
Right.
I disagree that because the United States is one of the most organized country in the world
Yeah,
in
it's a
terms
stat.
of
It's a stat.
census, in terms of stats, right? But a lot of other countries, like for example, even for us in our community, even in the Desi or the Muslim community, for instance, right? We do have divorces, but we don't talk about it. Why wouldn't talk about it? Because it's shunned, it's looked down upon in the community.
It's a taboo.
So
it's like,
why should it be? I mean, there's nothing wrong if it's as long as you've tried everything in that marriage, you've tried A to Z everything, and it's not working out, then it's fine to get that divorce. I don't, I'm not suggesting anyone does it because I think you should fight for everything you can, see a counselor, whatever. Let's say you've been through all those steps and nothing's worked, then it's fine to go with that. And you're right.
But it's a stigma, right? It's the stigma. How do you tackle that?
Especially for girls, I feel. So a friend of mine a few years ago, his sister got divorced, and he was saying to me that, it's so she feels that she's the one that's wrong. Not necessarily. There's nothing wrong with it. If it didn't work, it didn't work.
I think it's society that makes it feel like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a big thing is that it is. Yeah, you're 100% right. The divorce rate in our community is so high, and it's getting higher right now.
Yeah.
But nobody talks about it, and it is shunned upon.
Yeah.
It's like nobody wants to say, yeah, my daughter's divorced or my son is divorced.
Right.
Right. And then another thing is like, just because they're divorced doesn't mean that they can't happily get married again.
Yeah.
But
I wanted to ride on one of the points he mentioned is the United States, the 5th. I think you mentioned, right? So 5th. I don't think that's true. Quite honestly, I think
It's a stat, man.
I think I know it is the stat, but what I'm trying to express is that there are a lot of other factually, right? There are a lot of other countries out there, right, that and I'm not saying it's fact, but I'm saying could have much higher divorce
you
rate.
mean that's not
Right, it's not up
or
to
all this
date.
is-
It's not like, and there's no accuracy to that.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have an accuracy, right?
Yeah, we do, but so even regardless of comparing it to other countries, that's still a very high divorce rate. So
Sure, I agree.
I mean, unfortunately, that's the unfortunate way, and that's the way it's become. I'm going to come on to why.
What
I
if
think
we're the
that
lowest
is.
country in the world?
Say again?
What if we're the lowest divorce rate in the world?
think, okay.
We wouldn't know.
Okay, but you know, before anything, I think divorce is a huge topic to talk about.
It is.
You know, I think let's just stick to the topic of marriage and how to, you know, start a conversation about marriage. You know,
Sure.
I think one of the biggest things that we did talk about right now is if you have a significant other, how to bring it up and how to start a dialogue and how to communicate with your parents and if you're interested in getting married and actually starting the conversation. But now, what if, there's a lot of people in our age group that don't have significant other, you know?
Yeah. Are you talking about like a love versus arrange versus like a hybrid of the
Exactly.
solution? Okay.
So there's so many, right? Say there's so many people who are so busy working night and day, they don't have
Yes.
time to, for a relationship and everything, but, they want to get married, they're ready and everything. How do they go about, even maybe talking to their parents or even, finding someone?
I think in this sort of time, it's probably the easiest thing to do is to find.
You really
someone,
think
because
it's easy? I think it's hard
I
nowadays.
think it is
I-
very
no,
difficult.
I think it's very
I disagree.
difficult.
There's so many options now. So you got dating sites that went around many years ago. You got social media. You've got obviously there's always option of going back home. So there's endless options of getting married.
Yes,
Or finding
yeah.
other people because
But you know what the problem is? After when you finish high school and college especially, communication with peers and stuff like that stops. You start working.
Yes.
You start working
Yes,
in
very
a job, getting a job, and maybe you're working with different cultural background. You're working with different types of people, and that's not interested in that's not something you're interested in marriage.
Yeah.
So where do you go and find somebody?
So just to write on that, right? When you're in college, you have the time.
Yeah.
You go to clubs, right? You know, like
We're
student
talking about
clubs,
school clubs, right?
School clubs, right?
Book club.
You go to school clubs, so you can have fun. You can learn about each other. You do a lot of different things. But when you're in the career and when you're working full time, you go to work. You may have do after work, hang out with your coworker and everything else, but you lose that exposure to be able to meet a lot of different people, right?
Yeah.
So we, personally, for me even, I rely on my parents to being able to bring somebody to the table for me, like through their connections and networks, right? So I feel I almost made a mistake maybe of not keeping a stronger relationship. I don't know, how do I tackle this?
I mean,
Like,
do you really think you made a mistake? I mean, I think even the fact that you just said you are okay with your parents bringing someone to the table is great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are scared about that.
Yeah.
I think people have this whole. I mean, necessarily you don't have to go back home and get married.
Yeah.
There's so many guys, so many girls over here that you can get married to.
well, yeah, go
And
back home.
if you needed to your parents to find someone, it's not like we're not talking about arranged marriage like you see that has happened back home. Okay, hey, you're getting married to this girl. Hey, you're getting married to this girl. That's it. End of story. I think it doesn't work like that here anymore, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Although there are, but I think we're more of a hybrid today, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they are. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they are. I mean, I don't know how we should hit that topic and like how what you should do in that situation.
Yeah.
In the hybrid situation is like if someone your parents be like, okay, we have this one girl in mind for you. We would like you to get to know them, meet them for like a couple of weeks, and
date a little bit,
Yeah.
and then see where it goes. I think another great place to meet people is actually at family functions, weddings.
Oh, yes.
That's probably so if you're looking to get married, attend all the weddings.
of course. And also there's like those aunties. The aunties are the
Rich
best.
aunties.
Rich aunties.
So when we go to a wedding, right? A lot of times we're just sitting on a table and we don't necessarily go out. And if we see somebody cute, we don't necessarily
us.
go up.
It's
And
up to the parents probably to in a family wedding. I think it'd be a bit, in a way, disrespectful for one to like approach a girl directly. Which I'm talking about.
That
The
is true.
parents approaching the other parents.
So you're saying basically you tell your mom, hey mom, I think that girl's kind of cute.
No, the mom should recognize that as well.
Ferg, you do that?
No, I don't. But I'm saying, should we? I mean, is that
appropriate?
Is that
really good
appropriate? Is that
Is that
appropriate?
No, I mean, you
Should
can
that
do
be a
You can.
channel?
That's fine. You can do that, but I'm more thinking that the parents know.
You know what it is?
You have to get the
You know what it
parents.
is? I think we're so shy about that stuff, right?
Like even right now,
Yeah.
why should it not be a channel? Why?
I mean, I have no issues if I see a girl tell my mum, like, I think.
But if I was to go up to them, then I'm looked at as the bad person in the community.
I mean,
like,
there's
as
a level of respect. You know, you have to keep
Depends
a
how you
little.
do it
Yeah,
as
it's
well,
depends
I
how you
guess.
do it.
Depends how you do it as well.
Yeah.
I guess. I think at a family.
Or maybe you should go
function-
straight to the dad. You know, like, listen, I want to be very respectful. I just saw your daughter.
No,
She's
don't do
beautiful.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean that can create a lot of problems too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think there's a solid like through a way that you can go ahead and find the right person. But I think you can definitely use a lot of the hybrid options, right?
Another option is social media. I mentioned that a little while ago. So social media can create a lot of relationships. It
I
can
mean,
also
I-
destroy
listen,
them.
I have-
Social media.
I have my-
If we're gonna talk about social
Yeah,
media,
I mean, listen, I have my
Okay.
honestly, I don't know. I kind of disagree with you.
I think social media is destroying relationships.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
you're right.
social media is the reason
Social
why
media is
people are
destroying
getting
more
divorces.
relationships. You can. Yeah, you're right about that.
Social media, I think, I honestly don't agree with social media being a platform where, you know, it should. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's so many people that meet off of social media and get married and stuff like
And
that.
it's powerful.
You know, social media is such a way that it's an illusion that you see somebody in such a way, but when you actually get to know them, like you're actually getting with a person that you see on Instagram, but it's not actually the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
filters,
there's
changes.
Yeah, I mean,
Makeup.
I don't know. I don't agree
Well,
with social
it's
media.
not even just
another
that.
way.
It's not even just that, right? Is that a lot of times when we post things, we post the best of us.
Yeah.
Right? Me as a person, I'm not happy all day. Right? I have my bad times. I have my
But
bad
that's
moments.
the same as someone sending a photo of an auntie saying, "Hey, what about this girl or this guy?"
I mean, it's not the same thing.
I mean, it's a photo. You look at a photo versus a photo. It's the same thing.
It's not.
How?
Because
You're
on
gonna end
social,
up meeting that.
because
person.
okay, so
Because I'll tell you
there's
why.
a
I think
difference.
there's a commitment level too. There's a level of look. If you meet somebody on Instagram, right, versus you meet a person through an
Rich auntie,
auntie, rich auntie. There's a whole different ball game here. Okay, you're meeting a random person on social media. You can be whoever you want and do whatever you want. Right?
Speak whichever side you want.
There's no credibility.
There's no credibility. When you're meeting a person through a auntie or a family or your mom, you're not gonna be a disrespectful person or a whole different person.
bad boy.
You have to be you.
Right.
Because-
Not only that,
Yeah.
by the time you get the proposal, they investigate a lot of
Yeah,
things.
they already know everything
filter
about
the
you.
family out.
True.
You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
So it's
You know?
very different.
And already they probably saw your Instagram too, or your Facebook, whatever.
Yeah.
That's our number
very
one
true.
thing right now is everybody looks at your Facebook.
Yeah.
So make sure you
so
change your
keep
Facebook
that
name.
clean. Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
you know, I think another thing is like, everybody has friends, within the friend circles who have friends, other friends, just meeting with people in general,
So can we talk about that a little bit? A
Yeah,
little bit
but
more deeper? Is
what do you-
that
in what terms?
Is that in terms of like, yeah, we have friends, right? We have extended friends that we have met throughout time, and we talk to them more or less. Some of these friends know qualified, good people. And we don't really say, hey, look, I may have somebody for you, right? Like maybe do more of like within your friend circle, try to help each other out. I don't think we do enough of that, right? I think if you know somebody, a girl in my situation, if I know a girl and I know one of my friend who obviously I'm friends with them, so I would assume they're both good people or they meet certain level of requirement of your friendship, right? Then maybe set them up on a blind date. Is that okay? I mean, I don't know. Like I don't see enough people doing that. And I think if we were to do that, I think we would definitely see a happier type of relationship out there, more success in the relationship. Because when you're friends with somebody, you don't become friends just over one night. You know them for years over time. So I think you are the best judgment of that character.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's a credibility there, as you're saying.
Yeah.
Before, yeah.
It's like the Rishta auntie, but we all become Rishta individuals, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why don't we do that? Wouldn't that be more effective than relying on social media?
people I think in general people like
Don't want to get involved.
don't want to get involved, I guess you can say.
What if it goes sour?
Yeah.
What if it goes good?
I'm just saying that's
Yeah, but they look more towards the sour.
more towards the
Yeah,
negative.
but that's
one.
not right.
Is it
It's
not
not.
right? I mean,
No, I'm saying that's not right. That's
yeah.
not right because
that marriage
a lot of
fails.
times we look at the negatives and
Yeah, but if it fails, then the first.
but
You're
what
in a pickle.
What
You're
if
in a
it's
pickle.
successful?
Yeah.
Be successful.
I know,
Yes.
but people are more afraid of the failure. Last week we said don't be afraid of fail, but this is different. This is a different failure, yeah. So everyone's gonna be afraid of that type of.
Of course, I mean, we should be afraid of failures all the time. Failure should never be failure. It's just a lesson. It didn't work out with them, sure. I mean, I guess there's a risk of losing a friend because you're also playing a middle.
I mean, listen, there's
You know,
also different
individual.
platforms and stuff like that where you can meet people.
Like dating sites.
And dating sites, yeah, like apps and stuff like that. But we're all talking about like not just dating in general. We're talking about serious, qualified people
Yeah.
who are looking to get married. You know,
You can date,
If
but
if
that-
yeah,
that
if
person's not ready.
if you have that marriage conception in your head and you're mentally ready, that's when you should actually invest into this kind of stuff. Invest into
These
the
are
talks and
free
communication.
applications that
Yeah.
people can
Yeah,
utilize.
there's also Facebook groups and stuff like that, and we can always put the links down, whatever groups that we're talking about.
So on those going to those apps, do you think there are good qualified individuals through these apps? Because I feel like it tackles another fundamental problem, right? I'm looking through tons of different profiles. Through that exposure, I'm creating an image, a vision in my head, what I want. So through that, we almost rely on completely physical aspect of what a person looks like, but we don't really know who that person really is.
Absolutely.
So right now I'm flipping
But
through
it's a starting
profiles,
point.
right?
I guess it's a starting point that I guess
And it's a
whilst
full-time job.
The physical appearance is important, absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to be physically attracted to someone to get
I mean,
married to
I
them,
think-
but inside is even more important. From my point of view, it is.
Yeah.
I think what you're trying to tackle in is like, okay, you go on these apps, you see these people, and then you go with them, you don't like them. It's like going back and forth, back and forth. Is that what you're trying to like go tackle more into?
That being one of
Yeah.
them. And the second is, as we're going through the app,
Yeah.
I'm almost creating a perfect significant other in my head.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now I miss out on a good opportunity of maybe somebody that's introduced to me through a friend. I'm like, oh no, I want 5'9". I want somebody looking tall, fit, going to the gym, working out every day. Because of social media, because of these apps, because we're seeing so many different options, we just at times forget what quality means, forget what's
Into
important.
illusion, and you think
But
that
for you as a person, you will know what you want. No matter what all this social media, everything alternates your thought. You will know, like for example, I want
Realistic.
realistically,
Yeah.
But like
okay.
me personally,
But-
I'll know what I want in a
But
girl.
how many people on social media platform are being realistic once they're seeing all these other stuff?
I mean, I don't know if there's hardcore data about that. I know we love data, but I think there's is a good percentage of
Yeah,
people
evidence.
who are not being realistic. It's
And I think we should talk about
it's
that
an
portion of
illusion.
it a little bit. Like
I think that's a whole different topic. We can talk
Agreed.
about that.
Agreed.
Like how people are being not realistic on their Instagram
I mean,
and showing off. But in general, like marriage wise, I think going back to what we said, I think there's the hybrid situation.
Yeah.
There's the couple situation, communicating with your parents, and I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of people are scared of starting a conversation
With the parents.
With the parents of being in a relationship, right? And then and third, finding, a rishta auntie or the app. The fourth is the apps. Facebook groups, sending out your bio data and stuff like that to different people so they can find you. And of course, the fifth option, going back home, right? So that's an option as well. But
yeah.
marriage, end of the day, is all about readiness and mental game.
Yeah.
You have to be ready. It's not a joke. End of the day,
Yeah.
We're not married people, but I think we can, we can comment on that because based on seeing other people who are married.
it's a full-time job. So you got to be prepared. You got to give the time. You got to give the commitment, the honesty, the communication. It's all got to be there for successful
Yeah.
marriage, basically.
Yeah, but I think because of the day and age that we're living in, it's very hard for people to find a significant other. But there is different platforms to find them.
Yeah.
I think if you know that you're ready, you should talk about it. You should tell your parents. You should tell your friends. Maybe even talk to your uncle and aunts. Why are we so scared to tell our uncle and aunts about this? Why are we so scared? We should tell them. Listen, I think I want to get married.
Yeah.
Can you help me find somebody? Or I want to get married. I have somebody.
You think it's almost because your uncle and aunt may treat you the same way your parents would, like
Of course, I
look
think so.
down on that situation, and then you're
Look down
afraid
on
of.
it. I mean, I think it goes back to what Jay says, based on the relationship. If you have a
Yeah.
relationship with the parent more closer,
Yeah.
you know, we always have that. I think in my case, I'm more closer to my mom, for example,
Yeah.
right? If you're closer to someone individual, you know, you should have a conversation, start something with that person. You know,
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, in every type of situation, you have the good and the bad. I think we should practice to almost look at the positive more than thinking, what if something doesn't work out a certain way? What if something doesn't go right? You know, I think we should look at the other side of it, right? What if it goes well? What if I talk to my uncle and he's so understanding? What if I talk to my dad and then he's like shocked? Whoa, you know, like, I can't believe I'm having this conversation, but yet he entertains it, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden he's supporting of what you want, of what you're seeking for, and he also helps you through that process because they are our number one access to resource, right?
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah. So I think we covered quite a bit there.
yeah. I think you know, if you're ready, you should talk to your close friends, your families, and if you have someone, you know, start, you know, the preparation.
Yeah.
Communication with each other, and
Yeah.
you know, you should do it. And hey,
Everything takes time,
there's
right?
so many, there's a lot of platforms for people to find another person. You know, it might be really hard, it might be
Yeah.
tough. You know, everybody says we're so busy with work, with this, with that. You can make time, you know, you can make time to find
And it's also,
someone.
it's a very lengthy process.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like for us,
definitely.
especially, like, you meet somebody, then you get to know that person, and then the families get involved of trying to set a date or trying to figure out what's the next step, and then you guys figure out these like almost 3-4 different steps and process and dates. That's almost a year and a half length of time, right? So a lot of times, even if you're not there financially, a lot of the times if you're not there in career, a lot of the times if you're not there in all the other aspects or criteria, like have your own place, maybe by the time you guys get married, you will be there. But like you said, I think it's one of the most important thing is mentally, being there and being ready and being able to tackle changes in your life for your partner, and you know, going forward for a difference in your relationships.
I think, you know, we hit this topic. We hit a lot of great points, but
Yeah.
I want to like really twist it right now, and I want to say one really good point, like one thing that I think we should.
Can I interrupt
talk-
you real
Yeah.
quick to say that you guys haven't had any of the
Oh
tea?
no, I had my tea, man. I had my tea. One of the thing is that, for example, the pressure of getting married. You know, we talked about getting married, but what about the fact of the pressure from your parents to get married
Yes.
now, and especially in the female perspective.
Oh, yes.
And I think that we should end this conversation right here, and you know, in the next episode, we want to talk about the pressure of getting married, especially on the female side.
Okay.
Sounds
Because
great.
think about this. You are a career-oriented person who wants to become a writer, you know, or who wants to become a doctor. You know, we all know that the doctor field takes time.
Of course.
You know, and you put all your power, your willpower, and everything to become a doctor, and you're getting crazy amount of pressure, not only from your parents but the family.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
The
Like
entire generation.
we talk about family. You're talking about all your uncles, your aunts, your grandma, your distant cousins, your distant uncles. Everybody putting pressure on you to get married, but
But you're not ready.
you're not ready. You don't want to get married right now because you're so invested in your career. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
And I think we need to tackle that and talk about how to
Agreed.
That's a great
go
topic.
about and
For
talk
next-
about this.
Next episode, that's a great topic.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll definitely need to talk
And I
about
think
that.
we've got a few requests for talking about the pressure of marriage as well.
Yeah.
So everybody
Go
who've
into
requested
divorce
that
as well.
Yeah.
We can look at that.
Yes.
But just in case we also want to make it clear that we're not talking about any particular relationship,
Yeah.
or any particular
Right.
couple, or any
Agreed.
real life situations here.
Yes.
Agreed.
Okay.
So again, I think we should, and I want to personally emphasize on that as through my life, I think it's very important if you're watching this video, is for education.
Yeah.
We have different perspectives, we have different views. However, when it comes down to the reality of the situation, we are also humans.
Yeah. We make
And
mistakes.
We're here trying to help guide to open that conversation in the community, which doesn't happen. And our goal is to really bring that forward, and we're trying to entertain that with having some chai, because a lot of times whenever we're meeting with friends, we do have chai. So maybe next time you have a chai and you want to talk about a topic, open that dialogue.
Yeah.
I think that's the fundamental goal at the end of the day, is just getting more open to talk about these topics that we don't generally talk about.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So we'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah, and also if you guys haven't seen episode 1, don't miss it. And honestly, thank you for everyone who's been reaching out to us, commenting, and spreading the word. Honestly, we want everybody to spread the word about Chai and Chat. Subscribe to our page, follow, and like, and we'll see you next week.
Can we say chai out?
Chai out?
Chai out.
Check it out.
Chai out.
Yeah.